Amazing. So, how do you see your role now that more licenses are being distributed and you're opening up for rec and so on?
Well, we actually are kind of borrowing from the same template that we did in the past. So, Missouri is part of an expansion through the micro business opportunity. That was part of Amendment 3, or what is now Article 14, the law here in Missouri for cannabis legalization. And the micro business opportunity involves the creation and issuance of 144 new micro business licenses. Those are basically divided up into three tranches. They'll issue them over the course of about 3 years in three separate tranches. Each tranche is about 48 licenses. 32 micro business, they call them wholesale licenses. I would call them grow process licenses. You have the choice to either or. You can grow and process, or either of those things. It would be the applicant's choice. And then 16 of those are dispensaries. And so we really approached it in the same way, where we wanted to make sure that anyone who was interested in participating in the cannabis industry here in Missouri as a micro business applicant and operator, that they would have, the same ability to have us and others help them prepare to participate, sharing of information. We obviously have a large member base that has been successfully operating and working within Missouri cannabis for a few years now. And I think, with the adult use passage and the expansion of the industry, Missouri has really done a wonderful job. And this is everyone. This is, the operators, the regulators, the advocates. We've all worked really hard to try and create the best program in the country. And we want to impart that same information and education and knowledge share to those micro business applicants and potential operators here shortly. So we really use the same approach. It's give everybody the knowledge, and then it's up to them to sort of continue their adventure in the industry should they get licenses.
Amazing. Do you find that your existing member base, those that have licenses and are operating, are enthusiastic about micros?
Yeah, definitely. I think we've all sort of put our arms around this new aspect of our industry and said, these are folks that will be licensed as operators. They will be contributing to the cannabis landscape here in Missouri, and they are every part of the industry as the commercials are. And frankly, as the industry grows and potentially expands, micro licensees have an opportunity to convert to a commercial license down the road. So as the state evaluates the market and all the licenses that have been issued or stood up, then they can go back and basically analyze the marketplace and say, well, there's more supply than demand, or there's more demand than supply, and they can basically determine should additional commercial licenses be granted. And then I think half of those go to a new applicant pool for commercial licenses, and half of them would go to existing micro business licensees. And so, I think the whole industry is excited about what this means, and that, much like the commercial licensees, it's just another aspect or facet of our industry here in Missouri.
That's wonderful. Are you seeing out of state folks coming in and trying to subvert the rules?
Uh, so the Department of Health and Senior Services, which the Division of Cannabis Regulation, they're the governing body here in Missouri, and they've been pretty frank in their FAQs, and they've, I think, tried to issue spot some of the groups that may try to overcome the way the rules have been written, or the way the law represents how people can participate. The spirit of Article 14 was to give interested micro business. Well, first, if you meet the micro business application requirements, those folks, the idea is they would be able to own one license. So there isn't really an opportunity to stack licenses, and the state sort of sees it as you really shouldn't be able to apply, and sort of game the system through myriad applications to try and win that license, because the way micro licenses in Missouri, or micro business licenses in Missouri, will be issued is through a lottery. So I think the first thought for folks, whether they're in state or out of state, is like, how can I, ensure that I am on the better end of that lottery outcome? So the state's been pretty forward in saying in the applications, if we see folks that are, showing up, that micro business representative that has to meet those requirements, if they start showing up in other groups' documentation or applications, as my understanding is, they're going to pull them out and not allow them to apply. So they're definitely aware of it, and they're definitely looking for it.
Understood. And we've seen in Alabama that there are lawsuits. We've seen in every market, actually, now that I think about it, Florida and so on. As soon as licenses are issued, there are lawsuits about the process, there are lawsuits about fairness, and so on and so forth. Are you envisioning a lot of legal entanglement before the market can actually be realized?
So we've seen that on the commercial side, and as I understood it, very early on, pre-licensure, pre-industry. I mean, we knew that in states that issue licenses, to the point you just made, there is sort of a litigation factor that is contemplated in every state that issues license, regardless of how they do it. There's always going to be someone that has an issue with the process or the fairness, the equity, whatever it is. So in Missouri, prior to licensure, the state had already known that there's usually roughly a 30% appeal rate. So if you have 100 licenses, 30 of those applicants may decide to appeal the outcome of that. In Missouri, it happened to be that we had nearly 2,300 applicants, and we saw 855 appeals filed. For all those licenses that were not successful. On the microbusiness side, I would imagine there'll be a similar approach. I think it might be a little harder to have an effective litigation approach against this process, mostly because you have minimum requirements, and as long as you meet those minimum requirements, which are pretty clearly outlined in the process, then it's just lottery. And I mean, how do you litigate against chance? And I think that's one of the reasons why the framers chose that approach, is they wanted it to be fair and not have a committee deciding or some blind blind score process or whatever, where somebody could always find fault in it. This is basically just fair chance for everybody that applies.
It's really smart. I really appreciate the way that the framing has been done. It seems like it's a very well run program with very clear marching orders for those that want to participate. We don't see that all the time. We see a lot of chaos.